Hello guys, today we're going to study P4 polynomials. It's basically a review from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Okay guys, so you can look at the definition. We're going to just go ahead and start with example 1. Adding and subtracting polynomials. So we're going to have part A. Okay, so in this case, since we're dealing with a plus, you really don't have to do anything special because it's a plus. Or just go ahead and collect the like terms. So if you think this video is too slow for you, go ahead just fast forward. So we're going to look at the like terms. So here we have like terms, x squared. We also have, let's see, I use a different color. We also have x. And then we have numbers. Okay, let's do this. Let's say color coding them, alright? So just collect the like terms. So for the negative 9x cubed plus 13x cubed, all we're going to get is just 4x cubed. I often make this joke with my students in, I think, the past year. So if you think about this, just thinking about the two people has the same last names, okay? So you put them as a family together. So if you think about the last names x cubed, alright, you put them together, you're going to have 4x cubed. So now we're going to have 7x squared, and then plus 2x squared, so that's give us 9x squared. Then we have negative 5x, negative 18, actually it's negative 8x, it just gave you negative 13x. And then we put all the numbers together, that will be 3 plus negative 6, just minus 3. So that is your final answer. Alright, let's take a look at part B. For this question, because we have negative sign here, you really have to be careful. When you have negative sign here, that means we really have to pay attention. Easy to make a mistake. Okay. First of all, you want to give rid this parenthesis. So we're going to have a 7x cubed minus 8x squared plus 9x minus 6. And then that's going to become negative 2x cubed. And then this negative become positive 6x squared. And then negative become positive 3x. And then minus 9. Okay? Once we have this, we're doing the same thing. We're going to collect the like terms. This is going to give us 7x cubed minus 2x cubed give you 5x cubed. And then we have the x squared. So that gave us negative 2x squared. Then now we have the 9x, and then plus the 3x. So that gave us 12x. And then we have negative 6 and negative 9. That gave me negative 15. So that is your final answer. Again, this is all the review from your Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So if it's slow, you can go fast forward. So example 2. Multiplying a binomial and a trinomial. Okay, binomial, that means it's just 2 terms, trinomial just 3 terms. So in this case, let's take a look. All we have to do is, for this example 2, let's go ahead, look at this. I use the circle and then the number, use it as the order of the operation. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with 2x multiply. Okay, that's the step 1. That would be 2x multiply x squared. Then we have a plus 2x multiply 4x. And then we also have plus 2x multiply 5. Okay, that's basically our 1, 2, 3. Then we're also going to go ahead and work on for this is 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is 4. So we're going to add 3 times x squared plus 3 times 4x and plus 3 times 5. Again, that's just 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so now we're going to simplify this. That will be 2x cubed plus 8x squared. Okay, then plus 10x. Then now we're going to have plus 3x squared, then plus 12x, and plus 15. Okay. Once we have this, we're going to collect like terms, and the x cubed, that's the only one, so we're going to write it down now. So now we're going to look at this as the x squared, that gave us 11x squared. Then we have 10x. Then have 12x. That gives us 22x. Then we look again, is there any other numbers by itself? So there's none, so we're just going to write plus 15. So that is your final answer. Let's look at example 3. Example 3 is using FOIL method. Alright, let's take a look. So we're going to use 3x multiply 5x. Okay, that is, we say this is f, the FOIL method f. And then we look at the outside, so that will be plus 3x multiply -3, right? That's your O right here. And then we have inside, that will be plus 4 times 5x, right? This is the I, and we're going to have our last, that's plus 4 times -3. Alright, so this is going to give us 15x squared. This is going to give us negative 9x plus 20x and minus 12. So we're going to collect like terms. The only like terms that we have is right here. So we're going to have 15x squared plus 11x minus 12. That is your final answer. Alright, let's go ahead and look at example 4. Finding the product of the sum and the difference of two terms. When you're dealing with this, first of all, let's go ahead, if you can recall this, you learned this before. So if we have a plus b and a minus b form, all you're going to get is a squared minus b squared. Okay? So in this case, let's take a look, part A. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and write this formula right below it. Okay? Maybe actually right above it. So what you want to do is, I did this in the past. I like doing the coloring, okay? If you have A right here, so that compare it, we realize your age is 4y, right? Again, your age is 4y. That means we said this is 4y is your A, so I'm going to follow this formula right below it, and then have a square. So that's my A. And then when I go ahead and look at what is my B. So compare this, B is what? Not negative 3. If you compare the B, actually is 3, right? So let's go ahead and finish this. That will be minus B, we said is 3, and then squared. Okay, so once we have this, we're going to next step, we'll just simplify. That will be 4y parentheses squared. That's the same thing as 4 squared y squared minus, in this case, is 9. This is just going to be give us 16y squared minus 9. So that is your final answer. Part B, right? So what we're going to do is that's just going to be a squared minus b squared. Let's see if we can do this time. So again, you compare this. So I realize my a is the whole thing is my a, right? Which gives us our a is 5a to the 4th power, and then the whole thing parentheses outside square. And then our b, in our case, probably by now you already know, that's just 6. So that's just minus 6 squared. Now you go ahead and simplify this. Okay, that will be 5 squared multiply 8 2. Actually, this is going to become 4 multiply 2. Okay, and then minus 36. For those of you, if you forgot about this, if you can recall this formula a while back we learned, that was just a to the m multiply n power. Okay, this whole thing will give us 25a to the 8th power minus 36. That is your final answer. Example 5. Example 5 is finding the square of a binomial sum. So we're going to have part A. Since we're dealing with the square of sum, so I'm going to write a plus b squared. It's just going to have a squared plus 2ab and then plus b squared. Okay, this is the formula right here. So I'm going to write the question right below it, so that way we can figure out what is our a and what's our b. So in this case, it's very straightforward. So our a is just your x, right? So this is all involve our a. So a is our x right now. That will be x squared plus 2 times a. That will be 2 times x. And then we look at what is our b. So our b right here is just 3. I know many of you guys don't like to use the formula, but once you get used to it, it actually saves you a lot of time. So our b in this case we said is 3. And then we'll just follow the formula. That will be plus 3 squared. So I'm just going to simplify this. That will be x squared and then plus 6x and plus 9. Again, I'm not trying to force you to use this formula, okay? If you want to use the follow method to do this, perhaps you can do that. That's fine. I just want to show you guys this can make your life much easier. Part B, we have 3x plus 7 squared. Even though it's a little bit more complicated, but the concept is exactly the same. Of course, you don't have to write this every single time. All I'm doing is to try to explain to you, how to make it a little bit easier for you, okay? So again, you compare what's our a in this case? 3x, right? Then we said the a is 3x, and then I have to square it. And then plus 2 times our a, again, we said is 3x. What's our b in this case? You look, our b is 7. Right? And then plus b is 7 again, and 7 squared. Hopefully this will make sense for you with color. Okay, once we have it, we're going to just go ahead and simplify it. That will be 3x parentheses squared. That's just going to be 3 squared. That will be 9x squared plus, it's going to be 2 times 3 times 7, which gives us 42x and plus 49. So that is our example 5. Example 6, find the square of the binomial difference. So in this case, we have formula is a minus b squared. I'll give you a squared minus 2ab and then plus b squared. So our a, you compared it, that is our x. Okay, then 2 times our a again, that's x, and our b is 4 and plus 4 squared. Alright, then once you have this, and then you're just going to have equal to x squared minus 8x, then plus 16. Alright, let's go ahead and work on part B. So we're going to have 5y minus 6 squared. So we're just going to look above it. Alright, if you look, our a in this case is what? 5y squared. And then minus is still 2 times, and then our a, we recall that was 5y. And our b in this case, we compare, which is 6. And then we plus b squared, that's just 6 squared. So we simplify this, that gives us 25y squared minus 60y, and then plus 36. Alright, let's look at example 7. Example 7 is subtracting polynomial in 2 variables. Okay, it's not difficult, but it's easy to make mistake. First of all, I want to give rid of this parenthesis. Okay, so I'm going to simplify it. That will be 5x cubed minus 9x squared y plus 3xy squared minus 4. And then we'll go ahead and subtract 3x to the third power. Alright, as the minus become plus 6x squared y, and then, alright, let me just go ahead and highlight this part so then you can recall this is negative. So negative 2, that become plus 2xy squared, and then we're going to subtract 3. Okay, we'll just give rid of this parenthesis. So once I give rid of the parenthesis, the rest is kind of just straightforward. We're just going to collect the like terms. So in this case, the like terms will look, okay. And then now we're just going to simplify them. 5x cubed minus 3x cubed will give you 2x cubed. And then here we have negative 9 plus 6, that will be negative 3x squared y. Then we have xy squared, that's 3. Then here's 2, that will be plus 5xy squared. Then we have negative 4, negative 3, that gives you negative 7. Okay, so that is how you do this type of questions. So I have some student in the past, some other textbook, they did this way. So I'm just going to show you guys really quick. You don't have to use this method, but it's good to know. So we had this, we just write down the same term underneath. So we're going to have negative sign, and here we have a negative, that is a 3x cubed, and then we have minus 6x squared y minus 2xy squared, and then plus 3. Okay, we need this whole thing is just a subtract. You know, in the grade school, you done the subtract, you know, and then because we put all the same term together, if you realize. So this is x cubed, x squared y, okay? Or you're just doing the subtracts. 5 minus 3, that's 2x cubed. And then you have negative 9 minus negative 6. You're going to have negative 3x squared y. And then you have 3 minus negative 2, that's just plus 5xy squared. And then you have negative 4 minus 3, that will be just minus 7. Again, you get the same answer. Whatever you feel, so you feel comfortable, I'm okay with it. Example 8. Multiply polynomial in 2 variables. Again, the order really doesn't matter. So far, you don't forget anything, right, each term, so you'll be okay. So normally, I just like to do this. Again, you can do different order, it doesn't matter. So this is going to be x multiplies 3x. Okay, I'm just going to write down the order. I'm going to do in this case right now. You can do your way. So that will be x multiplies 3x, give me 3x squared. Then we have x multiply negative 5y, that will be minus 5xy. And then we're going to look at this term right here, that will be 4y multiplies 3x, just in case, you know, let me just write it down. And then we have plus 4y multiplied negative 5y. Okay, so again, you're just doing the order. So let me just go ahead, just do this step by step instead of simplify at the same time. Okay, so all I did is just, I did it by order what I wrote it right here. Okay, once we have this, then we're going to simplify it. That will be 3x squared minus 5xy, and then plus, this is 4, 3, and this is 12xy, and then now we have minus 20y squared. And then we'll look if we can collect like terms. So we have xy right here, so we can collect like term. That will be 3x squared, then plus 7xy, and then minus 20y squared. Okay, that's your final answer. Let's look at part B. So I'm just going to do it on the right side. Part B, we have 5x plus 3y and then square. Okay, so that's the same thing as your a plus b squared form. Just going to give you a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Right? So I'm going to write it right here. Maybe I'll just try to squeeze everything in here. So you compare again, what is our a? So our a is right here. So which means I'll give us a is 5x, the whole thing squared, and then 2 times a is 5x again. Now our b in this case is just going to be 3y, and plus 3y is the whole thing squared. You just have to show a little bit patience, okay, when you do this type of question. If you rush, it's easy to make mistake. So then we're going to have a 5x, this whole thing squared. You're just going to have 25x squared, then plus, this is a 2, 5, and 3. Multiply, which give you 30x and y. And then this last term, 3y, this whole thing squared, just give you 9y squared. That is your final answer. Alright guys, that is the polynomial for this session. Please make sure to ask questions anytime. Okay guys, see you next time.